What's up, everyone? Chris Driven. We're back in the car office today in the Toyota Rav4 and 2016. Let me be specific because I want to kind of document too, like the type of cars that I'm driving from time to time. But right now, this is what I'm in, and I think because I'm gonna show that you need to work with what you have. I was gonna share, my first car story. But I think I'm just going to kick it off with, like I said, using what you have and, just putting yourself out there. If you want to be an automotive YouTuber, I'm going to just kind of be that example be the example and be the proof that no matter what you drive, you can make something happen. And the reason for that too is because imagine the car that you have right now, and think about other people that might be in the market and to getting that vehicle, or if they just happen to come across it on the lot, Facebook Marketplace, and they're like, yo, you know what? I need a car and I just want to do a little bit of research and see, is it good? Is it bad? How is it? What to expect? So, this will just be the story on how I ended up in this car. I can talk about anything reliability, how it drives, daily driving, all that in another video. But for now, this is the story on how this vehicle came to be in my life. I don't want to get too far back into past details, but to quickly recap how that even happened. Back in College Station, 2022. I'm not going to remember the exact years, but I remember back in 2022, we were living in College Station, Texas. My wife was, working on getting her master's out there. So reason why we were out there. I had my 2021 Tacoma TRD off-road in cement that I got back in by the end of towards the end of 2020, excuse me. And I had that vehicle. It was leased for now. Lease was almost up. I was about 3-4 months away from my lease being up. I got something in the mail. Said, hey, trade in your Tacoma, blah, blah, blah. The new ones are coming out, and before your value of the truck goes down or up, whatever. So, those kind of like dealership or car sales tactics that they try to do to get you to come in. So I went into the dealership. After I saw a 4Runner on the website, it was at Bryan College Station, Toyota. And, the next day I was like, you know what? I'm going to just go check it out, test drive it. Took my wife, of course. Probably the biggest regret I will ever have in my life, or at least one of them. And you will know very soon why. But yeah, I went in, test drove. Excuse me, I don't know why I'm coughing today. Test drove it, traded in truck, got 4Runner. I had a 4Runner for a few months, got repoed after without a car for a month, sharing a vehicle to go to work with my wife. I was able to get into this Toyota Rav4. Like I said, there's so much backstory to this. I can go into details, but that's part of how the story goes. But I guess I could share since we have time. Like I said, biggest mistake was trading in my Tacoma. Perfect truck. I already had the idea of just keeping it, paying it off, and just passing it on to kids whenever, that time comes. Truck will of course still be running. It's a damn Toyota. But yeah, I traded it in for a 4Runner. There was absolutely no reason to, because I had a truck. I mean, what else do you need? It's perfect. It's just me, my wife, dogs, some cats, but mostly with the dogs, we're just with them. But I guess I felt the need that we needed more space for whatever reason. I know we were going to be moving soon, and I guess having that enclosed space of an SUV, it could allow us to fit more boxes and it can still tow. But it was just a really stupid idea in my head that I just wish I don't know. I just wish I never went to the dealership, because then I still wouldn't be suffering financially and just have screwed myself over. I should have been a lot more grateful with the Tacoma that I had and just kept it. But I think the reason was for that. Because out in College Station, there was just nowhere to off-road, nowhere to really enjoy the truck. It was in my head. In my head, I was thinking, why am I going to drive a Tacoma that, has the capability to off-road and then not be able to off-road it? There was an off-road group out there that drove, somewhere out by Austin. But that was like an hour, more than an hour of a drive. So imagine all the money that I had to spend on gas too. So it wasn't even worth it. It's not like when I was back in El Paso that I was able to off-road, going to the sand dunes and just having fun whenever you were able to. But out there, it was pretty boring. No mountains, no sand dunes, nothing. It was, yeah. And so, I don't know, I guess that's why I thought, you know what, I'll just get an SUV and then a 4Runner. I mean, amazing. It's still capable of off-roading, but I just kind of saw more as like, just be more family-friendly, I guess. But, yeah, I know. I mean, both vehicles are amazing. If I had the ability to have that Tacoma and the 4Runner, I would. And I still want the 4Runner, which I will want later on in life. The new one's okay. I don't care for it. But yeah, so with almost practically a month without a car, we had a friend who had a dad that was working at a Hyundai dealership. And of course, with almost every new dealership, they have a used lot. So on their lot, he was able to work some sort of magic to be able to get me into this vehicle. Sorry if I'm not looking at you guys so much, but I'm driving, so I have to focus. But yeah, he really pulled some magic, because I don't know, I just thought like maybe with like bad credit and having my car repoed, like how am I even going to get into a vehicle? So first day we went to go check it out. There was a yellow Subaru Crosstrek. I believe it was either 2015 or 16. Can't remember exactly. But it was a limited edition. I think there was either 1,000 or less that were made of that color. And to me, that made it even more like, I want it. So I signed paperwork for it already and everything. But, in the process of preparing the vehicle, they found some electrical issues going on with it, which was, extremely unfortunate. Not sure how their process is, when a vehicle comes in now. But I guess when that vehicle, was traded in for a new Hyundai, no issues had popped up yet. So it was extremely unfortunate, because I seriously wanted that car so bad. And for car brands that don't know me, I am universally in love with almost every car brand. There's something to love about every brand. And, whether it's the experience or different vehicles, whatever. But yeah, I would have really wanted to have a Subaru. That just, I don't know, I guess a part of me, like, I think I want to have a little bit of everything. So I've never had a Subaru. And the fact that, like I said, it was a limited edition color just made me want it so much more. But unfortunately, didn't pick up that Subaru Crosstrek. I had to go back home. But then the following day, or like 2 days passed, one morning I got a text from our friend's dad saying, hey, I got a Toyota Rav4 that was just traded in. He sent me photos of it, and I think the main reason why I said yes was because it was a Toyota. If it wasn't, I I mean, he sent me a Ford Fusion. He sent me photos of a Ford Fusion, and I was already saying yes to that painfully. I was like, ugh, it's a Ford. Like, I have nothing against Ford. Like, I love the Mustang, the Ranger Raptor, the classic Mustangs, New Edge. But, you know, a Ford Fusion, like, and it was a hybrid too, so I think it was a little bit less space, but I was like, I mean, that was truly the best that they had in the lot for me to take. That made sense. I think there was other vehicles at the time that were either too big, that were going to be expensive in gas, like trucks, but I mean, I was trying to stick to a really good price point too as well, so that was another difficult thing in finding a vehicle. But yeah, he was able to get me into this Toyota Rav4 that you guys see in the videos today. And yeah, at the time I was just like, I really need a car, because I need to get around on my own. You know, me and my wife cannot be sharing vehicles for a long time, especially being that I worked at FedEx at the time. And when I didn't have the car, I had to work fast, like double fast, more than I already do. So it was a challenge, which I love. You know, I love working fast. I love just operating on a very fast-paced type of thing. And yeah, I mean, it just worked for the time being, but we can't be with one car forever. So I took it, even though, you know, it's not really a sports car. It's not an off-road vehicle. It is just to get places, which is fine, but it's also painful too, because for me, I guess I love to express myself through driving, which is why for me it's important to, you know, have a vehicle that is interesting. It doesn't need to be new. It can be old. Like, I love new and old cars. I just wish I made a smarter decision on, you know, not trading in that Tacoma, which, Ben, if you're watching this, I love you. Obviously not your fault. Car salesman did their job like a dummy. I was there thinking, oh yeah, I can take on a $800 monthly payment for a lease, by the way, plus insurance and the gas. Oh yeah, don't forget to mention that we're paying for, I forgot how much the rent is for where we were staying at in College Station at the time. I think it was like $1,200, plus you got to pay all the utilities. So there were so many mistakes that were made, and which is why I am gonna be putting all this out there. That way you can refer to this and use it as a hack or cheat code to not do what we did. Kids especially too, if y'all are watching this, seriously, don't do what we did. When it comes to buying a vehicle, don't get into something you literally can't even afford. And I think I'm glad I'm starting to, you know, I'm working at a dealership right now, so I'm getting to know how the numbers work, how much you really realistically need to make, put down, and everything. I'm about to get into an accident here because some people don't realize what's going on up here. But yeah, it's just like, why? Like, that is just, I'm telling you, that is my biggest regret ever, is doing what I did. Now that we're out here in California, I mean, could you imagine how fun it would be to have the damn Tacoma? Go off-road, go to the beach, desert, you can go anywhere. Plus, with all the bumps there are here in the middle of the streets, it would be awesome to just go speeding through those. And I say that, I don't know if you guys are familiar with California, but there's a bunch of dips, like in roads and plenty of the areas that we're at in Ontario, California. So it's just, it would be kind of useful to have that truck. But anyway, that is how this vehicle came to be in my life. And now, although it sucks because, like I said, I can't exactly express myself through driving or just, I wish it could have been a vehicle that's, I don't know, just more interesting, that has character. This doesn't have character, it just has reliability. It has reliability, but you know what? For me at least, thank God it's got a sunroof, because that's one thing that I can actually enjoy from time to time. And I know I might sound ungrateful at the time, but this is just somebody who is living through regret, and that's all it really is. Otherwise, thank you God that I have a car, because it can be worse. But I think it's just tough too to live with the vehicle that I feel like can still be taken away from me, because since we just moved to California, still trying to settle in, I was almost but almost a month unemployed, and then I barely started working. So I had to wait a little over a month for another paycheck, and I don't know, things are just going pretty sideways out here, just like this camera view right now. But anyway, there's so much to share, and I think this is kind of a good way, like I said, to vent and express the experiences that I've gone through in a healthy way. You know, no therapist needed. Don't mean to throw the therapist under, the bus or anything about it, but for me, I know what I need, and what I don't need is a therapist. I think that's what all guys say, right? I mean, I would still go to a therapist just to kind of see, but otherwise, I know all I need is, I just want to go to the gym right now, because I know I just want to look the best right now, and that's all I really want, nothing else. So yeah, like I was saying in the beginning of this video, you got to work with what you have, and I want to try to help other people understand, this 2016 Toyota RAV4 XLE. If I can help other people, I think I can die happy. So that's part of why I'm doing these things. And yeah, so like I said, in a future video, or if you guys have any suggestions as to what kind of videos you want to see about it or want to know, comment down below. But yeah, I think I'll be speaking on, how the vehicle is, like reliability, daily driving, all in one video, because right now I am at 116,000 miles on this vehicle. I picked it up when it was around like 96,000 miles. And so ever since then, and we've driven, like I said, from College Station to El Paso, Texas, which is about 10 hours. And then from El Paso, Texas, all the way over here to California, which is, I believe, another 10 hours. But our total trip took like 12, 14 hours because of stops and sleeping. Anyway, yeah, that's the story. And I do have to go now for sure. Luckily, good timing, because I am getting to work. But I will talk to you guys in another video. So stay driven, no matter how hard life gets. There is so much that I want to do on this channel for the people before I go, and I just have to make it. Otherwise, my life was all for nothing if I didn't, try. And I have to try. I know it sounds very dark, I'm sorry, but that's me. That is really me. Like, things get dark, but life is darker. But yeah, catch you guys in the next one. Stay driven. Sorry if lighting's bad. The camera's only gonna do so much, but yeah.